Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Kalaye Sundarakaram Sadaika Priyadarshanam Ajnana Nashakam Devam Sadgurum Muralidharam Yasya Smaranamatreena Jikhvayam Vardate Swayam Mahamantra Stambhajami Muralidhara Deshikam Premamritam Yo Murali Ninadehi Shri Krishna Rupena Puravarsha Adyapi Soyam Muralidharakyo Pushnati Premna Bhuvanam Saharsham Kirtite tu Mahamantre Tatra Virbhuya Takshanam Suprasanno Bhavedyastam Premika Varadam Bhaje Murali Mandita Karakamalam Munijanamohanam Vyatyastapadam Vanamala Darinam Prema Bhakta Mandala Nitya Kirtitam Premika Varadam Ashrayeham Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanaha Tam Namami Harim Param Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Sadgurunath Maharaj ki Jai. Greetings, friends. I begin this session of Answers and Beyond by offering my humble prostrations at the holy feet of Guru Maharaj, by whose boundless grace I sit before you today. Thank you for joining in, and a very big thank you to our Global Organization for Divinity Australia for organizing this. The question that I will take today is from a friend in Sydney. This is how the question goes. Why is so much importance given to worship of deities in Hinduism? Can God be confined to a particular form? Does he exist in that portrait or in that statue, the form? I will begin the answer to this question by saying that Mahatmas such as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa have explained this so very beautifully. To put it very simply, the names and forms of God are as true as that aspect of God that is beyond names and forms, the omniscient, all-pervading, omnipresent being that God is. They're both one and the same, is what Mahatmas have reiterated, and so have our scriptures. As our Guru Maharaj would put it, they are like two sides of a paper. And to every paper, there has to be two sides. It's as true and as inevitable as that. Mahatmas have given the example of ice and water, while speaking of the forms of God and the formless, if I may say so. It's that same water that knows no boundaries, that is a vast expanse, that ocean that has no beginning and no end, that also takes a certain shape when it becomes ice. Both are one and the same, is really what they have reiterated. It reminds me of this very beautiful conversation that Gurudev Sri Ramakrishna has with his dear disciple, the great Mahatma Mahendranath Guptaji, the one who has bestowed us with this greatest treasure called as the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, a personal favorite of our Guru Maharaj too. This is the essence of the conversation, not the exact conversation. This is how it goes. I'll just pick the part that is relevant to this question, that talks about why there is so much importance to deities, and is it really possible to confine God to that particular form? That is the essence of this question. In that, the disciple tells the Guru, the great Mahatma, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he says, he's a very learned man, this disciple. He has read all the philosophies. He's a great scholar. And he says that the one thing that I really can't understand is how people worship that God who is omnipresent, who is everywhere in this particular form that we find, say, in a sanctum, in a temple. I really don't get that part, is what he says. To which the Guru gives a very beautiful answer. There cannot be a more apt answer to this question. He says, so you say that God, that Supreme Being, is omnipresent. Yes, yes. All-pervading. Yes. Omniscient. Yes. All-knowing. Yes. All-powerful. Yes. And your question is, how can you worship that, confining it to that particular form? I will ask you that if you say that Supreme Being, that God, is all-knowing, would he not also know that this devotee, this bhakta, is in fact only worshipping him in that form? Would he not be aware of that? Even if he were not that form, let's say, would he not be aware of that? After all, he is all-knowing, he knows everything. So let's not worry about that. A very beautiful answer that the great Mahatma gave to this great bhakta, a great saint himself. We need to understand who has bestowed us with these names and forms. It is our scriptures, the Shastras, the ones that have been bestowed by Bhagwan himself and the great Rishis. They are no ordinary people. We need to understand that these are the great ones that have experienced directly the all-pervading, omnipresent, all-knowing nature of that Supreme. And it is they that have given these divine names and forms. So it's an important thing to remember. The ones that have realized that God is omnipresent are the ones that have also bestowed us with the names and forms which we worship as the murtis in the temples. So there is deep meaning and significance to it. And we need to understand that this has been done out of compassion. That is very, very important. It's not to say or to think that how can God be confined into a shape or form or a name. That's not how this should be viewed. This God is in fact everywhere. God is in fact eternal. God is all-powerful and all-knowing, and the scriptures and the Mahatmas know it better than us. But they have given all of this out of compassion. Why? Because how else will I get connected to it? That is a big question, isn't it? How else? Can I sit and close my eyes and contemplate on that all-pervading being? How do I do that? Because in reality, friends, everything that we connect to in this world is a name and a form, isn't it? To me today, this body is the most real thing, if I must say so. I connect only to this form. If I connect to a person, if I like a person, or I hate a person, or I have a certain a feeling of disgust towards something, it's always towards a name and a form, isn't it? So everything around me at my level today is a name and a form, and that's how I connect. That's how I have all these bonds, all these bindings. When that is reality to me, how can I connect by, say, meditating upon or contemplating upon that being? How will I do it? It would be all too abstract for me at my level, isn't it? It was possible for the great Mahatmas, the great saints, to do it. But is it possible for me? That is a big question. Which is why, out of compassion, that infinite being has taken this finite form and name as well. They are one and the same. One is no less, another is no greater. They are one and the same, as Guru Maharaj would put it, two sides of a paper. One and the same. Let's even take food, for instance. What is the purpose of food? The purpose of food, at the end of the day, is energy, isn't it? But is that how it works for me? No. I have to have food, and that food has to have a lot of variety in it. It has to be a different food for breakfast. It has to be something else for lunch. It has to be something else during the evening time, and then something else for dinner. And there has to be so much variety. End of the day, once all of this is churned in the stomach, they're all going to look just the same, and the body is going to extract energy out of it. But that's not how it works, isn't it? It would be like how, say, we plug a phone to charge it. How would it be that if I just get plugged on and get charged, and that's energy, that's it? Or if all food was just this thing, this blob of a thing that had no taste but would still give energy, that would do the trick, isn't it? It would be just food, same food. Food for breakfast, food for lunch, and that same food for dinner, every day, every single day, all our lives, because after all it would give energy. But that's not how it is. There are names, there are forms, there's variety in everything. That's how I'm able to connect to. When that is the case, how do I connect to that Supreme Being if He is that formless being? So the names and forms have come into existence in order to help me connect to it. I really need to understand that. The ones that have bestowed this are ones that were able to realize the all-pervading nature of God. A very important point to be borne in mind. I will take this discussion to another level. I'm going to sound a bit rational or logical here. Pardon me for this, because this would be against the spirit of bhakti. It would be bhava bhangam, but still, for the sake of discussion, we will take it up because that is the nature of the question. Okay, if the form of God, or that particular form, the purpose of that was to help me to focus, to connect to, it can be any form, isn't it? This is how a rational mind would think. I can think of any form. I can say think of a table, a chair, and focus on that form. After all, it's hard to focus on something that does not have a form, so focus on a form, any form. Can it be so? Why should it be, say, the form of Bhagwan? Like, say, the form of Bhagwan Sri Ram, or Bhagwan Sri Krishna, or Devi, or Shiva. Why? Why that specific form? Our scriptures insist, and Guru Maharaj would say so too, that those forms have a very deep significance. For now, as I already told you, we will leave the bhakti bhavam part of it, that Bhagwan himself is real. We will leave that part. We are just talking about this form, and we are looking at it from a rather rational sense. Guru Maharaj would say that that form has a meaning, as opposed to, say, the form of a table or a chair. The fact that there are specific forms that have been designated, and the scriptures teach how to meditate on those forms, it has a deep significance. Just as how different sounds have different types of impacts on our mind, like there's a particular sound that would make us go to sleep. There's a particular sound that would scare us. There's a particular sound that would cause a feeling of inspiration to spring from our hearts. Likewise, different forms have a way of creating an impact within. And the forms, the divine forms of Bhagwan have that impact. They cause that spiritual progress. And this is something that can only be felt by one who truly practices that path of meditation. That is when they would actually perceive and understand by experience how that particular form is actually helping them to progress. So there is a meaning behind every form, if we want to look at it that way. And then the question also asks, after all, is it not, say, a piece of paper on which a portrait of Bhagwan has been printed, or, pardon me for saying so, but because the form of God is God Himself for Bhakta, but for the sake of the discussion, after all, is it not just a metal or a stone in which this form has been sculpted? How does God really live there? How can that cause that love, that bhakti to spring forth from our hearts? That is also part of this question, isn't it? To better understand this, I will tell you this example that Guru Maharaj once mentioned when somebody asked a question in similar lines. Guru Maharaj asked that devotee, what is it that you have in your pocket? Is that your wallet? Yes, it's my wallet. What is there inside it? There was some currency notes, some rupees. He said, put it on the table. And then he said, can you pick that newspaper? Leave it right next to it. I'm telling you that this is also a piece of paper and the newspaper is also a piece of paper. Both carry the same value. Would you agree? You would not, isn't it? Because this is money, whereas this is paper. You don't look at these as just both are pieces of paper, so what's the difference? As far as the currency is concerned, you take so much of care to make sure that it's protected, to make sure that it's secure. And the way you look at it stimulates a certain emotion from you if you look at a currency note as opposed to another piece of paper. In fact, the whole world is functioning looking at that paper as God itself, as they say in Tamil, Arulillarku avulagam illai, Purulillarku ivulagam illai. Practically, that is God in this world. That's how the world perceives it. It does not say, oh, it's just paper. And so much of effort is taken to keep it safe. It is the same thing when it comes to the forms of God as well. It's not just a portrait. It's not just a piece of paper on which something has been printed or a sculpture. It is Bhagwan. It is God. Just as how this currency is able to stimulate a certain feeling at this level itself, that Bhagwan resides there in that divine form, in that deity, in that murti, and the devotees connect to that at a whole different level. He is real. He's standing there. He's smiling. A very beautiful example that Guru Maharaj gave in order for everyone to easily understand. It's not as if they're just one and the same. There's also this other instance where Guru Maharaj gave an answer to a question in similar lines. It's a very worldly context. Guru Maharaj said, let's say you're driving past in your car at good speed on a highway, and then there's this very big hoarding, an advertisement. It has a photograph of, say, a good looking person, and the photograph has been presented in a way where it is making lots of people slow down and look at it for some time. People just stand there and look at it as if the person is really standing there. You don't say that after all it's just a hoarding, it's just a printout, it's not the person. It clearly stimulates certain thoughts in the mind, doesn't it? That is why that has been used in that advertisement itself in the first place. When a worldly photograph can provoke such an emotion, don't you think the divine forms of Bhagwan would go inside us in a completely different manner? In a manner that is way more potent and stronger than anything that we can ever imagine, the kind of impact that it can have on us. So it is not just a form, it is not just a portrait, it's got deep significance, which is why our Sanatana Dharma, Hinduism, lays great stress upon this. And there's a paradox here. I will tell you how. If you take me, today, I am not at a state where I have experienced the all-pervading nature of Bhagwan. I possess knowledge of it because I've heard about it, I've read about it. But knowledge is different from direct experience. So we are not in that state clearly. I'm not. But when I see, let's say, a photograph of Bhagwan, of that God, I say it's a piece of paper. That's not God. But Mahatmas react to it entirely differently. I'll tell you how. There was this instance once when Guru Maharaj was giving satsang in a particular place in a temple. It is a very big hall and lots of listeners, devotees would gather every evening to listen to Guru Maharaj. Maybe at least 1,500 of them, no less. One day, Guru Maharaj walked from outside the temple. It was a rather dark lane. He went inside the temple. You're surrounded by people, as you can imagine, everybody waiting to offer their respect to him. And then he made his way up the stage and he sat. He did not start the satsang, he was waiting. He called out and told gently that before you enter the temple, there is a shoe rack where people have left their shoes, all footwear. There you will find a folded paper. It is not just a folded paper, it is a portrait of Srinivasa Perumal. Please go get it. So a couple of bhaktas went and found that folded paper. It is a calendar. It was there in that shoe rack by the side. Guru Maharaj was so restless, as we could see, and he did not start the satsang. He was just sitting quietly. And after that portrait was brought to him, that calendar, he received it like it was his dear child that had been left on the streets. That sort of anxiety, and he was so happy to receive it with both hands. He embraced it and he kept it very safely. He said, it's Perumal. There were a few of us that walked with him. Nobody noticed it. Nobody even saw what was lying there. But nothing escapes his eyesight. He always notices. I'm trying to think, even if I had noticed, my reaction would have been, it's a piece of calendar. It's somebody has just dropped it there. That's it. I would not have thought past it. But I have not realized or understood or experienced the omnipresent nature of God. But I would say that that's just a paper. After all, God is everywhere. That is not Perumal. Whereas Guru Maharaj, it's the other way around. That's the paradox. For one who has experienced the fact that God is everywhere, Mahatmas are like that, he sees that Bhagavan in that calendar also, in that form also, and he is unable to take the next step without ensuring that that is safe. It's a very paradoxical situation, isn't it? I'm reminded of an instance in the life of the great Ramana Maharshi, Jnani of the highest order, lived in recent times, who was always immersed in that state, that highest state. Formless, as we are talking about. Every year, there is this very important festival in the Arunachaleshwara temple in Tiruvannamalai. And on one particular day, the Swami from the temple would go around the holy hill in Girivalam. And Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi, who's ever in that state of consciousness of that omnipresent Supreme Being, would come and wait at the gate of Ramanashram, ready to welcome Bhagwan from the temple. And he takes the sacred ash and the Kalpura Harati, at which time he says, Appavukku Pullai Adakka, meaning, to the Father I will always remain the Son and I bow down to him. Who's saying this? One who is in that state of consciousness. And they see that God in that form as well. That is the paradox. Whereas I, who have not yet reached that state, would still ask if, after all, this is a metal, after all, this is a stone, after all, this is a piece of paper. It is not so, friends. That is as true. The form of Bhagwan is as divine and as true as that Bhagwan, that Supreme Being, that is beyond the name and form. Which is why great stress and importance is given to the worship of the forms of God in the temples, in order for me to be able to connect with that love and then to progress spiritually. But to the Bhakta, I wish to reiterate that the form alone is real. It is alive. They would not even want to look at this using, say, a rational approach or attach some sense of logic to it, like what I was trying to do, because Bhagwan is real, his forms are real, his names are real. Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sadguru Nath Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so much.